Hello, travelers. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for hitting the play button. Johnny with HomeCountry Mathematics. I appreciate you. Let's learn some math, shall we? Okay, continuing on with our last problem from the last stream. It's great to have you again. Thank you for following along. You are much appreciated. Okay, we have solved so far 1064 divided by 14. We worked this problem using whole numbers, and then at the end we figure out where to place the decimal. This is how you do it. I've done all the cleanup and erasing ahead of time to save you guys and gals having to watch. Unless, of course, you would rather, just let me know. I'm not sure how you would. Likes will do that. Okay. I am going to write this in fractional form. Okay, so we've determined that 14 times 76 equals 1064. So let me show you how to figure out the decimal placement. And I think the easiest way is to show you with a multiplication example. Okay, going back to our problem up here, we know the decimal for 1.4 is there. And for this 1064, which is actually 10.64, the decimal goes there. So we are uncertain where the decimal goes for our answer that we solved and figured out with in the last stream or video. Okay, so now I think the easiest way for me to show you is with multiplication. So 7.6 times 1.4. Okay, just as I've showed you before, when you're multiplying, typically you're given a multiplication problem and you know where the decimals are, and then you solve doing the long multiplication, and then at the end you have to figure out where does the decimal go. Well, I do what is called, I like to call it upside down leapfrogging. I laugh because who leapfrogs upside down? Okay, so if we look at our 7.6, we always start from the right hand side, and it doesn't matter. Let's say, for example, I had a longer decimal value. I would still begin from here counting my jumps. Okay, so looking at this, we only have one jump with the decimal. And because we're multiplying, we add. we must also look at the other value. It also has one jump. So we have one jump plus another jump equals two jumps with the decimal. Therefore, for our answer, it's going to be two jumps. 1, 2. So therefore, I'm placing my decimal there. And you can see that's exactly where it is with our problem. Now with that said, I'm just going to clean this up again. We know the 1.4 and we know the 10.64, but the 7.6 is unknown. Well, we just do quite the opposite, because we are dividing here. So we go from our answer, we have two jumps. So I'm going to begin with a 2. And because, again, when you're doing division, we also do subtraction. So therefore, we're going to be subtracting the jump. So with the known answer, it is one jump. Therefore, 2 take away 1 is 1. This must mean that we also only have one jump for our decimal on the 76. Okay, I hope that helps you a lot. It's really easy if you just keep it kind of straightforward and simple in your mind. All you have to remember is with multiply, it's plus, with divide, it's subtract. And you can easily write out your problem to figure it out. Most likely it's the easiest way to set it up in multiplication form. And then figure it out. 2 take away 1 equals 1. One jump, there's our decimal. Okay, so placing our decimals here and here, our answer is 7.6. Okay, there you have it. Pretty easy, huh? I'm able to do that because I have not closed the application or the software yet. This is great. Okay, let's do another. Now we're moving towards fractions multiplied by whole numbers. Don't worry, guys and gals. I will show you and it'll be easy. Let us begin. 3/4 multiplied by 12. Now, how do you figure out a whole number in fraction form? It is not shown, but it is implied that 12 in fraction form actually means 12 divided by 1. Okay, So I can rewrite this problem (3/4) multiplied by 12 divided by 1. Now, one thing I'll let you all know with fractions, multiplying and dividing fractions is so super easy. It's the easiest thing to do compared to adding and subtracting them. If you guys and gals, you wonderful, learning, intelligent people, please hit the like button. That'll let me know if I should do some addition and subtraction of fractions. I think it's very imperative and important to be able to do fractions, because when you get into algebra, sometimes occasionally problems will be written in a linear form, and I'll show you in a future example where this may be confusing for individuals, and they tend to solve problems in a linear fashion versus in fractional form. Because they do this, they tend to get an incorrect answer and think that they're correct when they're wrong, unfortunately. Stay tuned for future videos on that. Okay, so back to the problem here. This is so great. Fractions are numerator over denominator, right? The greatest thing about multiplying fractions, I could even write it in this form. I could have one long divisor and go 3 times 12 and 4 times 1. It's very simple to do like that now. It's cleaner and visually easier to see in our mind what we're doing. So therefore, apologize, I was checking the time. With fractions and multiplication and division, all we have to do is straight multiply the numerator and straight multiply the denominator. It is that easy. So I could work out the problem long form. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. I am getting close to the end of the time frame for the video. I appreciate you watching. Stay tuned. I am Johnny with HomeCountry Mathematics. If you would like to see the rest of this problem solved, please check out the next video. Thank you for watching, and it's great to have you.